Hello, everyone. Welcome to another video series of Coming Home, Life After Semester at Sea. My name is Dee Colombini. I was one of the ship counselors on Voyage 134. With me today is Emma DeCaro, who is our ASL interpreter. And we are here with our special guest, Jayden Ford, who goes by Ford. And among many of his talents, was an exceptional musician. If you sailed with us, I'm sure that you heard some of his wonderful music coming from throughout the ship every day. Welcome, Ford. We're so happy to have you with us today.
Happy to be here, Dee.
So we have some questions for you today. So the first question is, what was your role in the ship and what was SAS like for you?
Well, my role on the ship was, just like every other student, I was there to learn, explore the world, and kind of have, you know, my life shaped by other people's on the ship. And what I mean by that is, we had professors from all over the country, some from all over the world with experiences unlike you would believe. I mean, my history professor sat in with Ronald Reagan. My philosophy professor has been with monks and Buddhists, etc., all over the world. And on top of the people that were, set to shape you on the ship itself, um, every port that we were in, every different country was a different experience, cultural experience. Whether it meant to or not, it was supposed to mold or shape you. And that's exactly what it did. So my role on the ship, on and off, um, was just to be molded, just an explorer, someone ready to learn, have a good time. That's exactly what happened.
It sounds like you came in with a lot of open-mindedness and willingness and flexibility and curiosity. So you brought that with you, and it sounds like it really helped you engage and
Absolutely.
enrich you on the journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful. What do you miss most about SAS?
It is absolutely the people I met on board. I
Mhm.
mean, the entire experience is nothing short of amazing. I'm sure there's not a soul that would tell you that it isn't. But the people you meet along the way, um, there's nothing like the bonds that you form. Since being home, been very busy, as I'm sure most people have. But just I'm really looking forward to get the chance to meeting up with the friends that I connected with on semester at sea, because yeah, I got to tell you, there's nothing much like connecting with people that you travel the world with. There's a bond you can't really break there, and that's what I'll cherish most about my time on board is the people I met and that I got to share those experiences with.
It sounds like it was just such a unique setting and that you really created some networks and some social webs there. Um, yeah, and it sounds like they've been really important for you. Um, and in terms of that, what were some of your favorite memories?
There are so many. And, I've been thinking about this for a while, when you get back and you're sitting up late at night, just thinking about semester at sea and how you're back home, what were your favorite times? And I kind of narrowed it down to two. One is on the ship, one is off the ship. And for on the ship, for me, it had to be the Sea Olympics, hands down, no questions asked. Because you meet all these friends, you meet all these people, but you're not in the same sea. So, for that day, you guys are competitors. I'm a very competitive individual. I would like to say I was a part of the Yellow Sea. We are champions.
Can you tell folks a little bit, sorry to speak over you, but what is the Sea Olympics? Can you just tell folks a little bit what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when you arrive on the ship, they sort you into different seas. It's kind of how they split you up for your dorm, like your housing, things of that nature, how to depart the ship, just a way to organize the students. But um, they make it so much more than that. There's a specific day when you're on the water, and each one of your seas will compete in a series of games, things like basketball, volleyball, tug of war. Then more methodical games. I participated in the backward spelling bee. I was eliminated first round. But things like chess, just things to get everyone involved. And much like everything on the ship, everyone is full throttle into it 100%. Just the atmosphere, it's amazing. Everyone's super competitive, and you compete all day. They wake you up early in the morning, they get you ready. You're all in your Sea Olympics jerseys, which mine is hanging on my wall upstairs in my room, signed. and you just compete the whole day. They serve you same food throughout the day, and it's up to you to eat that food and get back into the competition. And then at the end, they end it with a big like lip sync competition that everybody gets involved in. And honestly, I can't say I've had much more fun in my life than during that night. Um, but I have to say, winning and rubbing that into my friends' faces in the other seat was one of the more satisfying parts of ship life.
Awesome. Yeah, there was some energy that night and well deserved to your team. Congrats.
Thank you. Shout out Yellow Sea.
Good competition there. So that was your on ship
Mhm.
highlight. What about off ship? What about in port?
In port, there are so many. I was thinking about this a while, but I landed on a day that we spent in Vietnam.
Mm.
Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City was my favorite port, and on top of Ho Chi Minh City, we also spent some time in a city called De Lat. It wasn't very popular with people in semester at sea. I don't believe I saw anyone else there, but it was beautiful, just so beautiful. And in the morning, we had a field class where we visited a temple with my philosophy class, like a Buddhist temple, and just really enriching to see these sort of things firsthand. So you get that kind of cultural religious experience. And as soon as we left, me and my friends, we took a Mekong River Delta tour, and our tour guide, we was a local. We hired kind of privately, I guess. And this individual, he was such character, and he was so much fun, and he was so, you know, just good to talk to. He was treating us not as tourists, not as locals, but as people that wanted to learn. And we went throughout the day for the Delta. We had a traditional, lunch. We got to see alligators, and by that night, we took a flight to De Lot. And in the it was still pretty late at night. We went canyoning down these waterfalls, me and my friends. It was a 72-foot waterfall. And it's notable because I'm terrified of heights. I can't do heights, heart starts beating, things like that. So I liked that day so much because it covered a lot of things that I wouldn't do in my day-to-day life, something that I'm fearful of, and want to explore. A religious immersive experience firsthand, things that you usually used to reading about in textbooks or online, or secondhand experiences from, over here in the United States. Western culture is very, very different, you know. And then a beautiful day on the water learning about a different country's culture, and I look back on days like that, and those are the ones that I'm most grateful for. The ones where you get everything in 24 hours and you don't quite realize how much you were given until the day's over, you know.
Incredible, really incredible. It sounds just amazing.
Yeah.
And you alluded to there have been more days of those experiences as well. That was kind of the highlight that kind of summarizes all of the incredible experiences in one short time. And it sounds like you alluded to there were even more of those. Yeah. So kind of thinking about coming back home, and kind of leaning into this a little bit, what was it like to, leave those experiences, leave the ship and come back to your home? What were some of your main struggles?
Yeah, and this is important, because a lot of people, when they come back, a lot of my friends, we've talked, and people struggle. you know for me, I would say that it wasn't as much of a struggle or a readjustment as I thought it was going to be personally. That's because I dove in to work and distracted myself instantly. But what I found helped with what would have more than likely created a struggle for me was talking about it, alluding to it, basing some of my day-to-day conversations, actions, things like that off of lessons and experiences I had abroad. Um, it'd be anything from as simple as, we're watching a TV show and someone brings up, you know, Mauritius. And I'd be like, oh, I've been there. That looks familiar to me. Or anything too complex, as I actually have a teacher this year. He is from Ghana. He's from Tema. And we talked for, I think, like 2 hours after class. He's a great dude. and it's just, you find the little things, so I'm guilty. I do a lot. I kind of distracted myself when I came off because I knew that when you leave an experience like that, it definitely leaves a hole, that you want to be filled. But today I'm going to be graduating in the spring. I'm running our lacrosse team here at our school, things of that nature. And I find happiness in the little things, but I can't help but find myself looking forward to the next time I step on a plane and find myself in a new area of the world. And I would be remiss if I didn't say I assume more than likely most Sassers feel that exact same way.
That's good advice and good thoughts. It sounds like you well, it sounds like this might be something that you do wherever you are as you dive in to get the most out of something. So when you get back home, you dove back in, but it also sounds like you're leaving space for when something gives you a memory, you're making a connection back to that memory. And also one of the ways, and one of the ways you're coping or managing is to reconnect with those memories, but also to maybe find even other people, new people that have had similar experiences and similar lived in similar spaces, and understand some of the sights and things that you've seen and some of the cultures that you've encountered. So it's really wonderful that it sounds like you're staying connected, but you're also finding new people that understand what you've experienced in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. I would also like to add, I can't help, but every single time I speak to an underclassman, you have got to do semester at sea. I honestly feel like it may be annoying for some people, but in the same sense, every time someone opens their mouth about an abroad program, I mean, you just can't beat it. Now I haven't done another abroad program. I've traveled before, but this experience, semester at sea, before you go on, and this is something I found very striking. Before you go on, you sit in meetings or things that your school hosts for people that are alumni to kind of give you a feeling of what it's going to be. And they all tell you, it's magical. You're going to find yourself doing things like 6 a.m. yoga, and I'm like, yeah, right. I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. and do yoga. As it is, no, right? And you get on there and everything they said is true. The atmosphere is different. I did wake up for 6 a.m. yoga twice. I would have never done that here, and I probably won't do it again. But there's something about the atmosphere, the people, everyone being so willing. And I think that is one of the things that had the greatest effect on me is, not only everything I learned and was exposed to, but watching everything I learned and was exposed to everybody else and how they react to it so positively. So it's unique. It's unique, and I feel like it's a must for anybody that's willing to give it a try.
That's a wonderful endorsement. And thank you so much for keeping a piece. I hear that you have a piece of SAS in your heart and you're keeping that with you. And then we're just gonna kind of wrap things up now. I thank you so much for your time. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. And I wish you many wonderful new journeys.
Thank you. Thank you so
And
much.
congrats on that graduation.
Hey, we're almost there. Not quite, but we'll get there. Of
Thank you.
course.